Hey guys, so it's Dakota Walker here, and this is video 3 of our little series for sacred relationship and working with that energy of sacred love and also self-love. And so I'm here at our Gaia Wisdom meditation chamber, and I chose here because we're talking about sacred relationship, and we built this by hand and over the course of about 2 years with about 80 people from all over the world. We have 23 different countries represented in this building, and it was truly a beautiful experience to be in relationship with these people from all over the world, some of which who spoke very little English, and we had to build this from the ground up. In fact, this door right here was handcrafted by a couple from Venezuela. And they had come through just for like 2 days on our property and built this door. So in a moment, I'm going to take you inside, and we are going to really talk about the south direction today and a little bit more about sacred relationships. So are you ready? Let's go inside. Okay. Come on in. I love the feeling in here, and it's so quiet. It's actually an earth bag home or earth bag building. So it's all made from earth, from this earth where we live right now. So if you've missed the first 2 videos, please go back and watch them. The first one, I give you a couple of great tips to get you started on just being aware, raising that awareness within your relationships. And in the second video, we talked a lot about sacred relationship, both to others and to ourselves. And there should have been a great handout for you to kind of start doing some tools for implementing practices into both those relationships that will really help. So in this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about the south direction and the energy of that direction, because that is the direction that we're going into in the medicine wheel right now, and that's a perfect time to be working on these kinds of things. Before we do that, I just want to recap that I'm Dakota Walker, and if you have not followed my work or know who I am, I have been doing this work for about 30 years now, and specifically teaching about the medicine wheel for the last 15 years because it's such a powerful tool for transformation and for being able to step into a life that is more authentic, is more in line with our sacred purpose, that is more congruent with our soul, and that's what I do. So I help guide people to finding and stepping into their power to live the best life that they possibly can. I've been very fortunate to have some amazing teachers along the way, and without them, I would not be where I am right now. And not just teachers of big caliber. Like I've worked with a lot of shamans and a lot of teachers and doctors and so on and so forth. Some of my greatest teachers have been my clients, my students, and just my life in general. And ever since I was a little girl, I had the insatiable curiosity about people and what it felt like to be in their shoes and to see the world through not just my eyes but other people's eyes too. And I think that gave me a lot of insight into what people experience and feel and what those pain points really are. And so I feel like I have been able to create in my life a sacred purpose that is transcends the normal, for me, the normal third dimensional, what do you do for a living? And I feel like it transcends into my sacred purpose is about helping other people shift their lives and to live, very soulfully. So I hope that I can join you on your path and your journey at some point. So now one of the things that I want you to achieve today is to really understand what the medicine wheel and the south direction in specific entail. The medicine wheel is a very ancient tool that many indigenous tribes use for various reasons, for healing, for ceremony and ritual. They use the medicine wheel to align energies. I have taken the Native American and the Celtic sacred wheel and kind of combined those forces along with some of my own understandings of it, and have put a modern twist on it to apply it to our modern day life, because our life is not like it was 100 years ago or 200 years ago. It's very different today than it was then. So the wheel that I work with is congruent with our life today and being able to meet you where you are. It is a powerful framework for being able to see your whole life and to plot out the energy and to pull energy from different directions and be able to apply it to your life. Our goal is to really live our lives from the center of the wheel, which is called the wisdom keeper in my wheel, to live from that wisdom keeper space and to be able to kind of manipulate that energy all the way around however it's needed at any given time. So the south direction is an incredibly vibrant direction. It's probably my favorite one, next to the east. And the south there's a lot of music and art and creativity and sensuality, and you tap into your intuition, your empathy, and you begin building the sacred relationships, and you exhibit a lot of self-love. And it's just really, really vibrant. It is resplendent. It's staggering. I love the South because it touches on the emotional body, and that's the primary focus. So we talk a lot about emotional intelligence and quantum psychology and how to blast through the emotions that hold us back. So something that happens with emotions in general is that if you don't have a healthy response to emotions, meaning you don't let them come in, feel them fully, and let them flow in, feel, flow out. If that's not like a normal thing for you, and it's not for most people will hold on to that fear or internalize that anger, or not be able to fully resolve the grief, things like this, or they won't allow themselves to fully experience joy. So if I've just described you in any of those circumstances, here's what happens. Is when you have a fear, let's just work with fear for a second. When you have a fear, let's say at the age of 5, you had a fear that, well, here's a fear of mine. It wasn't age 5, it was like age 9. I came home from school one day and I thought somebody was in my house, and I was so fearful that I found the biggest butcher knife that I could. I went out to the garage, I hid in a box, and I stayed there until somebody else came home. So and I know I didn't fully process that fear at that time, and when we're kids, we're not really taught how to do that. But so I internalized that fear. And then the next time that I felt fear, it was compounded because I already had this fear. And so we go through our lives and we just keep layering fear after fear after fear after fear after fear to where we are, like say right now, I'm close to age 49. And if I feel fear, I am going to feel it through the filter of all of these experiences, because they have set up and they have become my basis for what that looks like. So the fear I feel today may be expounded because it's not clearly it's not in its own right. Does that make sense? So when we start doing this work, this soul work, and we start uncovering what emotions we have really been harboring in our lives for a very long time, and we start working through those, it's a little bit like Jenga, where Jenga is that game where you place all the pieces of wood and you find that one where it all comes falling down. You don't want that in Jenga, but in this scenario, you do want that. You want to find the one fear, as an example, that we pull out and it just brings down all of those other layers of fear, and you can have like a clean slate at that point. So we work through our emotions in the south direction, and we learn how to experience those emotions fully so that they don't layer up like that. You don't want to circumvent the emotion. You know, some people, they don't want to go through the fear. They want to go around it, so they numb out, or they bury it and they kind of go over it or around it. But you have to you have to learn to go through the emotion, feel it, you know, wide and deep and full, and then you come out on the other side clean. And you will have learned what it was that fear taught you. And there's some great techniques for that. There's a lot of different tools that we go through in order to find our way through the emotional body. So the south direction, it really kind of ties in all of these pieces, and they all play together, because you can't truly have a sacred relationship if you are unable to also experience your emotions fully. They kind of go hand in hand. You can't love yourself fully unless you also are able to go through those emotions and to feel those emotions. You can't tap into your intuition if you are clouded by all of this stuff over here. So they all kind of go, you know, they all dance together. And the south is beautiful that way, that it's one of the directions where everything flows back and forth and into each other, and is very rich in that way. It's very diverse. So that's what we go through in the south direction. Now, hopefully, from the last video, you had a chance to practice a couple of those techniques I gave you, and that helped you to just get a glimpse of what it feels like to love yourself in a different way, and to also be in relationship with somebody else in a very sacred manner. And that's the biggest thing about all of this energy of the south is that the foundation is self-love. That is our primary foundation. And really, in all of the directions, the primary focus is the foundation of who we are, at the core of who we are, and how we build up from that place. And, you know, I've worked with a lot of people, especially in this past year, guiding them through that journey of rediscovering what that foundation is for them. And, you know, I've seen people, you know, be in that place of extreme, you know, trepidation, and that just not being able to move forward in their life because they either don't know themselves well enough, they don't know where they want to go, they don't know who they are, they don't know what brings them joy. And to really watch that kind of unfold as we go through each direction, watch it unfold at each level differently and differently until it gets to a place where the norm is to be authentic and to be in their truth. It's such a different place to live, such a different mindset to have. And truthfully, it really does not take that long or it's not, the work isn't that hard to do to get to that place. It's actually, it can be very easy if you allow yourself to be open and to be curious. Curiosity is a great trait, and curiosity is a trait of the South direction too. So, and so is creativity. Being able to really see your life in a vibrant, colorful way. That, you know, it doesn't have to be this straight line of how we have always done things. We can weave in and out and do all kinds of stuff, and, you know, enjoy the roller coaster ride, so to speak. So that's what the South brings to us, and that is, you know, really the crux of it. And one of the questions I got recently was, how can I trust my intuition when I don't even know who I am? And that is a great question. So the short answer to that is you trust as much as you can, but you really can't unless you do know yourself. And when you dive into these directions, when you dive into really what the energy looks like and feels like in each of the directions, you do get to know yourself at a very different level. You know, in our last mentorship, we did a 30-day video challenge, an authenticity video challenge, and it was absolutely transformational for people to be able to shift their awareness and step into that. And you saw the progression, you know, as the videos went on and on, that how powerful it was. And actually, when we go into the mentorship for the South direction, we're going to do something very similar to that. And it's a way for people to challenge themselves, to get to know themselves on a very different level, and, you know, to ask questions that maybe you've never ever in your life been asked before, and to really go within and find, what is that answer for me? You know, who am I at the deepest level, at the core of my being? Who am I? You know, that's a question I ask in every single direction: is who are you? Who are you? Who are you becoming? And these are our powerful inquiries that we make when we go into that soul direction. I'm going to pause this because I'm going to shift over there because the light's coming through the sunlight and it's through our ceiling. It is beautiful. Hang on. You'll love it. Okay. We may be shifting it again because it's a circle, so it moves around depending on where the sun is. And I found that, like, yeah, see? You just put some white paper down here and it shines right up. Anyway, the other, you know, one of the limiting beliefs that I see in people is I am, this was put to me the other day, I am nearly 60 years old. How can I possibly change who I am at the core of my being now at this age? And so here's my answer to that. The core of who you are has never changed. You may have just not exhibited it or led a life that allowed for it to flourish. And so what we hope to do, or what I hope to help you do, is to polish that off. Polish off all those layers of, you know, just layers that were never meant to be there to begin with, until we get to that core piece of who you are. The core of who you are has never shifted. You have just covered it up, and we just sweep away all that dirt, all that muck, all that mud, and find out what's beneath all of that. It's not, your life is not impossible. In fact, it becomes much easier. Once you start unlayering and peeling back, it becomes much easier to live, because you're not living a falsehood anymore. You're living your truth. And that's a heck of a lot easier than any other way to live. I find that when people, at least my experience with the mentorship, is that people really, once they start uncovering and doing the work, that they are able to transcend very quickly, because you've taken off all of this heavy baggage, and life then feels a lot lighter, and you have a lot more energy, and it's a lot more enjoyable. So I feel like that's kind of the answer to that question. And then the other, I also hear a lot that I don't have time. I don't have time. Whew, that is a mantra of our society, is I don't have time. And really what you're saying is, I don't have time for me. I don't have time to be authentic. I don't have time to step into my truth. I don't have time to live a joyful, more connected life. And when you say it like that, if you don't have time for yourself, what will you have time for? Every day we are one step closer to dying. And, life is very short. I did a lot of work with hospice, and more often than not, I heard from those who were in the dying process that if only, if only, if only. And partly that's why I changed my life, was because I didn't want to be at the end of my life saying, if only I had taken more time, if only I had just done X, Y, and Z, if only I had not been so scared. Life is, it's these series of choices that we have, and we can continue to choose the route that keeps us numb, or keeps us just outside of ourselves, and that may seem easier. It's not really. Or we can choose the route that is why we're here. What are you here to do? What changes are you here to make? What contribution are you here to make in the world? How powerful are you? What is your truth? What is your soul calling? And stepping into that, if you don't make time for that, life, it's just not worth it. It really isn't. And no one else will make time for that for you either. So only you can make that choice for yourself. Once you know how to step into this power and really harness the energy of the different directions of the medicine wheel, once you know how to do that, then you can take your life and really grab it fully and just push forward and really live a different life. And even if you feel like you're living a great life now, it becomes so much more connected and more enjoyable. And you see the moments that are around you, you're present, and how that presence is just astounding, not only to yourself but to the relationships that you're in. And when you have that, life feels so good. It feels so amazing and so on purpose for sure. So in order to have all of these, all of this life-changing, authentic, truth-telling, soulful moments in your life, you just need to learn how to navigate, in my opinion, the framework of the medicine wheel, because I think that is one of the easiest ways to get the most movement in your life. So, I have really enjoyed being able to offer this information to you in these videos and share with you just some of a few little tips just to get you started, to get you moving in that direction of, being able to see some changes in the relationships that you have. And so I have put together this mentorship. We are rounding it out. We actually just finished the East direction, and we've done a full year. We're coming back around to the South direction where we started last year. And we will be opening that enrollment up here soon. But this year has been so just absolutely rewarding for me to watch so many people go through this process. We've had, close to 80 people go through the mentorship at this point, and it has been just profound in watching the changes happen for each person. So beautiful, so insightful, and inspiring to see that. And they have formed such a great community together. They are a solid pack. So that's one of the great benefits of the mentorship, is having that community of people of like mind who support you and love you and encourage you to show up authentically. That is just, it's just amazing. So I know that, or at least I hope that these first 3 videos that I've done for you free have kind of helped you in some way, that you've been able to see or learn something or see some kind of difference in your life. And maybe even reading the comments to just see how it has helped other people. Now, if you're interested in taking this one step further and, going down this rabbit hole with me, I've put together this mentorship. It's an advanced training. We do a lot of shamanic work. We do a lot of soul work. And we tap into the energy of the direction, and we kind of round it out and really bring out the essences of that direction to make some really profound, significant changes in your life. The way the course is set up is that we have live calls every week, and you also get a course teaching every 2 weeks. So we'll spend 2 weeks on a very specific subject. So we go through emotional intelligence, we go through sacred relationship and self-love, we go through the twin flame, soulmates, and that divine masculine feminine energy, and then we round it out with intuition and empathy. And we also we do workshopping during one of those. We go every other week on the live call. So 1 week will be question and answers. The following week we actually do a workshopping. And these are recorded, so you don't have to, if you can't make it live, you can always hit the recording of it. We record everything, so it's all there for you. So you get the teaching, you get the live calls. We have the community, which is just profound. You will not find a community like this anywhere. I guarantee you, you will not find a community like this one anywhere. I am so proud of this community, and we have worked hard to create that very safe, sacred space. And all of us are very protective of that. So it's a great avenue. We also, in this South direction, we will be doing a creativity challenge where it'll be 30 days throughout the 9 weeks, where you will be given a challenge on each of those days, and you can either record it video, journal, art, or photography. And because the South is all about creativity, we really tap into that energy, and we find a way to use that energy to kind of put ourselves out there in an authentic way. It's a great exercise for showing up and practicing being authentic and learning more about yourself. And we also will be doing, we have a lot of stuff. We do an opening and a closing. And you've got like this entire portal. We do meditations. You'll have a meditation immersion as part of it. We have 2 different levels of the program. And, you know, when you click through, you'll see the page. It's got testimonials on there. You'll learn from some of our students how they feel about it. But you'll also see a breakdown of 2 different programs that you can join. One program gets bonus courses and things like that. So anyway, there is a lot to look forward to if you were to join this mentorship. In the meantime, what I would love to know down below in the comment section is, I would love to know, what have you taken away from these 3 videos? And what do you feel you could use the most in your relationships? So please leave that down below. I read every comment. I answer all of them. And I really, really, really look forward to hopefully walking this journey with you and seeing you on the other side. Now, I will tell you that we are opening enrollment to this course. Actually, after this video, the enrollment opens. And we will only have enrollment open for 7 days. That's it. And this particular direction will not come back around until next year. So if you miss out on the South direction now, you won't get to it for another 9-12 months. So if you have any idea that you might want to do this, jump on it now. The other thing is that we will actually have already opened up. If you're on the pre-list, we have a waiting list for the enrollment. If you're on that pre-list, you have already received an email. You also got a discount, and you had first dibs on enrolling, because we do cap off the enrollment, because I like to keep the setting intimate. So what I would like to do actually is that I will extend that discount for the first 2 days of enrollment. So if you're thinking about it, jump on it, you know, right now, because that discount will end in 2 days, and then the remaining 5 days of open cart of our open enrollment will be full price. So, and I will also the first 2 days, I will also throw in the full meditation immersion. How's that? That's a good offer. That's a really good offer. Because that's more than 9 weeks. You will get 14 weeks of meditations starting on the 22nd of June. So anyway, I am looking forward to seeing you on the other side. And if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to reach out to us. We are happy to answer anything. There are payment plans available. There's all kinds of stuff. I try to make it accessible so that everybody has a chance and opportunity to do this mentorship. I feel that strongly about it. It will rock your world. Okay. Comment below. All right. I'll see you soon. Bye.